Aha. Hami takuyapi. Ake washte wachia kapido. Apetu washte echichia pido. Da kodia bunspemiche hemiedo. Relatives, it's good to see everybody today. And again, welcome to our Buffalo Chasers podcast. I'm joined again by Mr. Tommy Christian. Mr. Earl Bullhead will be joining us shortly. IT difficulties he's experiencing, but again, I'm Elijah Hopkins, and thank you for joining us on our podcast here. We are live streaming at Fort Peck Community College here. We want to thank everybody for joining us. Before we get started, it's been a few weeks, 2-3 weeks now since we had Dexy back and Dexy Earl, so I know they had to do some traveling, and I'm glad they're back. So could you help us out with a prayer, Dexy, before we get started?
Oh, hecha to a dai chano toshka opilai chicha. How mitaki epidaya hipi ushima la chevicha shamela hoya chajemi tawamnisha getoba imachapi. Ambe tukile michante tawaglake na hana pechuza pelo. My relatives, and again, welcome to our little podcast here. We have weekly, and again, we've been out on the road for a couple of weeks and did a little ceremony over there in Grand Forks last week. Old Chia Earl was Nietzsche Ole was putting on his ceremonial hat, and oh man, he had a dandy ceremony over there for a very honorable lady that was one of his mentors, I guess you would say, from the university there in Grand Forks. But everything went well, and again, a great big thank you to Mr. Jim Redigo for helping us out last week, coming on and sharing some of that diverse cultural, what did you say, protocols that we have, and again, that's representative of the diversity, but yet at the same time, maintaining the uniqueness of who and what we are through our language, through our ceremony and all that good stuff. And it helps the people understand the differences that exist out there. They're not wrong, they're just differences. And so all my relatives, you can help me out as I go to this higher power, this spiritual energy that kind of guides us along and answers a lot of our looks after and guides us in a good way. So help me as I go to the Creator. Atukashilana wakantaka tadeu ya doba unchi makana makaina. Hamitaki epi wanagi makpea aktaya ge hocho ka akta hiopo. Mushiake mitaki epi podcast hacha o chakiapo ushu chalapo. Tixiapo na hamitaki epi winuk chalapi wichak chalapi na ha. Na mwakayan japi hokshilapi unchinchalapi kushkapi wikoshkapi na wichozani upi na chanku washte upi. Kiksiapo mitaki epi na wayazapi unchi makao mani. Kiksiapo mitaki epi chante yoksi mani o wichakiapo ushu wichalapo. Atukashila na wakantaka. Oki achawo mitaki epi na ha. Na agichita oyate kizuya ekta wichashabile wiapile. Owichakiapo. Atukashila wakantaka oyate oyasi chanku luta aga omani owichakiapo ushu wichalapo. Wopila chichia naha wahihecha naha okiawo ota naha echito. We're thanking them for in the springtime for all of the good moisture that the Creator has brought us, and we pray and we ask that you'll continue to help us understand the importance of our first medicine that we refer to as our water, and maintaining that and understanding the goodness that it brings and the health that it provides and the healing that it gives us in the manner in which we choose to utilize it. So again, wopila chichia. All my grandfathers and my grandmothers that guided me as I sat on the hill and suffered for our people and trying to attain the understanding of the gifts that were shared with us. So in a good way, we're understanding many people are preparing themselves to go out and cry all night for a vision. And as they do these things, we pray and we ask that our grandfathers will always look after them and our grandmothers will guide them as they come off the hill and provide them with the direction that they need in life through their ups and their downs. And we pray that you give them the strength that they need in a good way. So we come on this day and ask that you'll continue to pity us and help us to understand the importance of what it is that we're going through today, and again, some of the weather is kind of fierce, but we have respect for it and we enjoy it. And so Wopila Chicha, again, thank you very much for the good moisture that you brought to our Mother Earth in a good way. So again, everybody stay safe, and we can't say enough about our ability to come together in a good way to our virtual experience that we call and we refer to as podcast. How heche to ala Wopila Chicha, how mitake oasi, wamakashka oasi.
Oh, Pidame Adexi, a beautiful prayer again. And per usual, we try to recognize a few people that reciprocate the love to our podcast by giving us a share or like on our Facebook live stream. Those that smash that love button, we want to show some appreciation to a couple individuals. So Mr. Jake Badhawk is the winner of our Kindle Fire tablet.
My grandson.
Hold on, son. I'll be right there. And then also we have a Buffalo Chasers jacket. It's like a Buffalo Chasers Indian Letterman's jacket, Galbado. And the winner of that is Mr. White Crow, man. They call him Mr. White Crow. He knows who he is, Mr. White Crow. Winner, chicken dinner. So congratulations to both of you. Fernie is also known as Fern, and those Inipis, he's known as Fern. So congratulations, you can retrieve those items at the War Eagle Vision Building and Poplar Main Campus. Or if you're out of the area, just give us a phone call, 406-768-6370. Give us your name and your mailing address, and we'll hook you up that way. So Dexy, what do you got for us today? I know it's we have this weather. Some people call it inclement, but we've had a few days of remote work. So man, I'm just in my teepee mitawa, just snacking all day, just hanging out. So Dakui Dukcha.
Well, it's me and Chia Earl were talking about some of the understandings of and the lack of understanding of our protocols. We don't come here and tell anybody what to do, but we share with them different avenues on how to address some of the things that when you get involved in ceremony or stuff like that, what is my responsibility to the circle? Just basic fundamental stuff. They're not rules, they're not regulations, they're just the protocol that we follow. And that's what differentiates us from a religion per se. We don't have a doctrine or those things that we follow. We just understand the importance of that. What would you say? That natural law process where we don't have to do anything, but we do want to be respectful. So we were discussing about some of the things about the drum and the singing. If you're going to be a participant, you're going to become a hochapi, or if you're a hocha, you listen to the hocha. The hochapi is the singer. He helps the hocha, and the hocha is the leader of the drum group. And they provide you with, and again, they don't tell you, because again, our way of life is one from a personal experience to where we apply these things as we learn them. And if we make mistakes as we go, it just comes to show that we haven't learned enough yet. So it affords us an opportunity to kind of seek that educational process from a natural law perspective, in that what we call abstract learning or experiential teaching. So, it's stuff like that a lot of people have taken for granted. I know a lot of folks are not really into that sort of thing, but it's something that is important to me. Like I would, it's not right to say never, but I try to avoid walking in front of elders, And if I meet my relatives, I always make sure that I acknowledge them in some form of a handshake or a hello or something like that. And again, because if you just put your head down and walk by them, that's kind of disrespectful. So you always want to be aware. You always want to look around, view your area. See, what the heck was that word? Misung, Harold Blacksmith, Wataxpe or Wataxpa or something like that. But it means to look around, be aware of your environment. And in that, it's not because you're nosy, it's because you're just being aware of your surroundings. Mwah! He looks like he showed up. But we were talking about that. Oh, hey, Chatulo, wana ugly. Hey, daya chano che. I see your big nose, but I can't see the rest of your face. I don't know what's going on here.
All right, we're on.
Hi, girl. There you are. Hey,
Yes.
good job, Che. Tunig to ka, oh.
There's headache caused a rumble in the kitchen and
Uh-huh.
chewing this out, chewing them out. Get the hell off my stuff.
That's great. You're supposed to be taking care of them, Chen. No,
Well, I'm behind technology-wise, I'm behind. That's a fact.
Mijay, I got my boy here. He takes care of all my stuff for me. So,
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do when I give them all the gate. I don't know what I'm going to do. Time to move on, man. Go find your life, you know.
You better save one just to help you with your technology.
I have my baby girl moving in next. And I have my contract to be handed in Tuesday.
Oh,
I got strict orders from headquarters.
Yeah.
She said, you have to live on your paycheck.
Whoa,
nothing else. I said, Christ, I said, I can't do that. I said,
yeah,
let me ask you something. You guys already started? You already on air?
Yeah. I was just sharing with them, brother man, about what we were talking about as it relates to protocols and what we were discussing the other morning. Remember, sitting at the drum, and we don't tell people what to do, but we sure help them understand the importance of the respect they need to pay to the drum or the ceremony or the individuals, and it's always done in a gracious way. And people don't understand that. They're so used to being told what to do, eh? Well, we don't tell for the simple reason that it's a decision of the individual to take that and learn from it, eh? To go out and seek that stuff, like what we're doing here on the podcast. We don't tell anybody what to do, but we afford them an opportunity to make a choice. There's options are available to them. You know, they come to me and ask me how to do ceremony. I would refer them to somebody that is really into that sort of thing, like yourself, tobacco, like the way. Yeah, like the way we did that wiping of the tears. Oh, I thought that was so beautiful, and the people just absorbed it, just really enjoyed it, and just you could tell because they were crying, eh? And that was a very honorable lady that we paid those respects to. So I thought that was really good. But that's what I would do if they asked me. I would have to refer them to somebody else, because I give all my ceremony away to all these young boys and whatnot. And let them learn, and they make mistakes, but that's okay. They're supposed to. That's respecting that abstract learning, that experiential teaching that we're involved in. But I know that Chia, I know that you got that opportunity to view some of these irregularities, I guess you'd call them, as it relates to coming to the drum, and you can tell the ones that don't know. But although they're very blessed with a beautiful voice, eh? Oh, ashte you happy. But at the same time, they don't understand the importance of the respect that is due to that chacheza and how you should deal with it. That's what I was kind of talking about. But I can't speak to that. But Chie, you could speak to that. That's some of the experiences that we've had, in relates to some of the tools or the items that we utilize to maintain that connection spiritually with our spirit world, and how we continue to walk forward and on this red road, Geabado, Chanko Luta Agaumani, Geabado. And so in our language, that's what it means, is to walk on that red road of understanding and kind of gain some of this information based on your experiences. And if you sit back and don't ask questions, don't do nothing, then, well, that's not our fault. It's there if you ask, eh? But I was just talking about that. What do you think about that, Chia?
You know, one of the things that we learn by stepping onto the history and etiquette and protocol of what we are socializing today, the unifying of a red nation. One of the strict instructions is that everything that's bad that you experience, you put it away for a while. And so when you step in the sacred circle of power, you are there to have that time that you can have to worry about those things.
Yeah.
And so the transition for me, what I experienced was I got to see my grandkids who are in a boarding school down there. Little did I know that hugging them and being with them and shaking hands and encouraging and this, when they got back to their school, they were tested positive.
Oh,
So
man.
that's another transition that we has kind of gave us challenges in our culture, because as I looked around, and I'm guilty of it myself, feeling secure enough because things have gotten mellowed out,
Better,
but there was hardly anybody wearing masks. Now they're talking about certain cities are putting it back in place again for another extended amount of time.
Yeah.
And so we have another fast-moving virus that's going about, and it's affecting younger people. And so that's another aspect that comes into play when we're socializing. What I do really observe a lot is that we're kind of taking some of the things that were taught to us as younger people, and we're kind of ignoring them. I've seen guys throw blankets over the drums and play cards while they're waiting around.
see chop.
Or I've seen people throw things across the drum.
Yeah.
Or I see things like abandoning the drum, nobody watching it while it's down. And you have to wonder, where did they learn? Were they self-taught? Did they take time to go to an elderly and help them explain the protocol and the etiquette that came along with it? 1 year there at the powwow centennial, one of the groups from Canada came in and security come over and said, Earl, he said, we have an issue with this drum over there. So what's going on? They have a bottle. So when we went over there and I said, you guys know that this is an alcohol drug-free event? He said, well, this is cough syrup. It's called Buckley's.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I see it. And I looked at it and it said 20% alcohol. That's what they sell wine here in the United States at 20%. I said, that's alcohol. You might call it medicine, but I says, you're gonna have to either get rid of that, or we're gonna ask you to lift your drum up and do the right thing and enjoy the power. But you're not gonna be allowed to sing on that drum, because you guys just denied all respect and articles for that by drinking alcohol around the drum.
Yeah.
For your sore throat, But when you go back and you think about that, I've been at celebrations where guys are drinking schnapps to help them, their throat, I mean, I've seen MCs, jug a whole fifth of schnapps, and I've seen guys getting up there drinking schnapps and then start talking and they're intoxicated. So I said, well, let's fold up and get out of here. So those guys are not in the right frame of mind. And the irony of it is that we're so fearful of exercising what we know that oftentimes we ignore it, and we're all guilty of it. I, for myself, my wife adopted a gentleman, and he composed a song, and everybody's using it. They must have sang it at the powwow 3 times. And I just felt in my heart, I said, someone's got to say something about this. So I went up and I gave tobacco to the committee. I said, can I make a brief announcement? It won't take long. I said, it's something that people need to know. So I said, it's nice that you guys like this song and can render it, and you know, it's a good song. I said, but the gentleman that you guys composed the song is sitting right here.
Yeah.
Not a one of you came up here, shook his hand, if nothing else, bought him a cup of coffee, you know,
Something.
and
Yeah.
did some of Wopila. And yet you still sing that song over and over wherever you go. I said, there's protocol and etiquette, you know? So those changes over the years have occurred in
Yeah.
committees and elderly and people like me, you know, we kind of let that slide because when we come into the circle, we're supposed to let all the, you know, that kind of feelings go and just let people do their thing. So no alcohol and drugs, because it's a drug-free and alcohol event. But you guys, there's guys there that are high on meth. This guy's
Yeah.
sitting around the drums, and you know. And in one instance, they had to leave, send a guy out of there powwow because he had a weapon on him, you know. So those changes that are happening at some point, somewhere along the line, self-taught versus the traditional way of having a drum
Yeah.
and representing your family, whoever it is or how. You have to wonder. I said, what went wrong? Did nobody to advise them or don't know how to use tobacco? Because another instant was I was down in a powwow down in South Dakota where the tribe there has a tobacco shop. And so they go around to give cartons of cigarettes out to the drums. Every session they get more cigarettes.
Yeah.
And I said, I don't know. I said, I don't want any of that. That's not how we use that.
No.
And so anyway, so this individual came up to me. He said, I can't afford to buy cigarettes for these guys. I said, you don't have to. I said, just get a small, can of it, a bugle or the yellow one, and give it to the drum. Go give it to the drum, not the singers.
Yeah.
Because that's pleasure smoking, They can pretend and say, I pray, all right, but they're sitting there smoking the whole time,
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of that.
Yeah.
And so that change again is that at some point, and I prophesied this one time, I said, there's going to come a time we have to go back to those ways, because if we don't, we're going to lose all meaning and truth to what was given to us in a sacred manner from a woman.
Yeah.
We have to come to that realization at some point in some time. And then when people have these little specials, you can predict who's going to go home with all the prizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen them, I've heard them. I'll help you out, come and participate at my giveaway. Make sure you get home. Just a nice gesture. They go home with $1,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen it, guys get paid.
Been there, done
money.
that.
The judges get, just for judging, to get paid them off too. I've seen that. And so more and more, when you think about all these changes, that are occurring and has happened, we kind of more or less as a nation, as a people, are letting ourselves down. The intent and purpose was to unify a red nation. That was the prophecy around that drum, the heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, you go to these powwows and there's an etiquette involved in it. The leader of the drum, the drumstick keeper, who has the right to do that, is the only one that's supposed to be honoring
Bring me
the
a
heartbeat,
piece, son.
because his stature in this community and his kolaki chair, his friends.
Yeah.
But you guys see guys whacking on one side, another guy whacking the drum on this side, another guy whacking the drum on that side and this side. And they're well-known singers, drums.
Yeah.
the protocol and etiquette is fastly fleeting away.
Yeah.
So
Oh, thank you, sir.
awareness is one of the things, but
Smells
like you
good.
said, everybody's just now learning this, and it's coming from us.
Yeah.
What are you eating? Dog food now? Yeah.
Oh, this is my pizza. Look,
Oh,
pizza.
I thought maybe, thought you're feeding the puppies there. Well, yeah.
Oh,
But anyway, so those observations and things that I've seen, over the years, some of our elderly people, they knew those things. I was asked if I was going to go to this powwow. And he said, and I won't today, so I'm staying home. He said, I said, he said, they're all gonna be all women. The people will be women will be running it. Well, this day and age, that's acceptable now.
Yeah.
There's another change. And so when I went up there, I noticed that, yeah, the committee and judges, and president, committee, they're all women, which is our backbone of our nation, right?
mhm.
But back in the day, there was stature involved in it. Rightfully so, because a lot of our women are veterans now too. So there's another transition that has come into the circle. And so I stopped this old man and said, "Hey, how did you know that? They're going to be all women." He said, "Wa chipi. That's how women say dance, wa chipi. Men say wa chib.
Oh, yeah.
Now that
Yeah.
basis alone, he knew that that was going to be a change. So he didn't go. So I said, I noticed it, and it still goes on. It'll be forever in the records because it's all in all the book reports and vouchers and everything else. Cheapy,
Yeah.
So
I never
here our
thought of
language
that.
has changed.
Yeah. I never thought of that.
Well, see, I sat there and watched all of that, but the one thing that I did before I left is I sat down in my own mind, said a little prayer and hope that nobody gets hurt on the way home, that nobody gets sick, that everything works good for all the people that come to the celebration to enjoy themselves, camaraderie, single friends and all that stuff. And I said, there's not one person on the dance floor that's dancing that I knew. So that gap that's going on, it changes. Most of us who been taught or raised and told these things, we're diminishing. We're fading away. And so the younger group don't know how to go and humble themselves and offer that tobacco and say, what's the meaning of this song? Or what's the meaning of the history of this drum? How did it all start? So the advice was stay at your drum. He said, in time, he said, whatever is significant and what's important is going to come to you. It'll come to you.
Oh, at you too.
So that all those years that I had a drum, that's what I did. I stayed close to my drum to watch it, make sure that it's fixed good, it operates good, and be responsible and take care of it as a friend. Even at home, you keep it at the right temperature, So many different aspects of the change has come, but it's not only at the social aspects, and I think I shared that with you. The attitudes that some people had was, if they have a whistle, an eagle bone whistle, nobody can stop them blowing that whistle. If I want to blow this whistle at a powwow, he said, I have the right to blow it. That's an eagle bone whistle. And I said, you have to have a wooden whistle. It has to represent a bird. That's how it came. It has to represent a bird. As Sundance has its place, the whistle has its place where it belongs at the Sundance. You can't go with your wooden whistle to a Sundance and blow it. there's a etiquette and protocol involved in that.
Mhm.
And it showed up one time. Bismarck, North Dakota, to Powell, and we went indoors. They asked me to say, call all the head singers to talk to them about, because it's a championship contest, to be no whistles. And how can you explain that to everybody? I said, well, call them together, and before it starts, I said, well, I'll do my best. So I told them, I said, the tobacco and the use of that whistle all play an important role in who we are as a people. And so the committee, I gave them tobacco, put tobacco out there in the middle. So if you have an opinion about that, because we have to get through this contest, because it's costing money to be inside the Civic Center, because it's raining pretty bad outside, storming, you know? And so if anybody has a comment and anybody has something to say about that, the request, I have to take back to the committee and tell them what your opinion is.
Yeah.
I said, I was asked to present this from them, who was running this celebration. I'm just a spokesperson for it. So if you have an opinion, you need to address it in front of it and be witnessed by all of these guys,
Mhm.
all these whistle carriers. And so they all agreed there'll be no whistles. All of a sudden, here comes this whistle carrier, full regalia, walks out in the middle, puts tobacco on that, and turns to everybody, said, I have the right to blow my whistle. I don't care if it costs me $2,000, he said. I'll use my whistle. Everybody said, how? Heche tuktelo, they said. How, all down the line. And
No,
they all left him standing there. You think he blew that whistle?
no.
At the end, once some young boy, not knowing that, blew his whistle, so they took him aside and they talked to him. No whistles allowed here. And to me, that's rightfully so.
Yeah.
When you're running a big contest power like that, that is like showing favoritism,
Mhm.
interfering with what needs to be done in a contest championship, because that's what it is a contest now.
Yeah.
But what blew my mind is they turned it into a casino royale, and that's the last time I ever been to that powwow up in the Oneida Tribes, and I used to go to it all the time.
Yeah.
I walked over and I'm sitting with one of my friends. He said, so I looked over and I seen a woman with plumes on, eagle feathers with plumes and buckskin. And they were out there and they had numbers on. And they were dancing to round dance songs with English words in them because they had a number and somebody was betting on it.
With the feathers.
So,
yeah.
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 You know, so it makes you wonder, these changes have occurred, and oftentimes, do we really give them enough thought to think about what they're asked to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is about Mazaska.
Yeah.
You know, one year, we were taught you're going to go to a doings, you be sure you had enough money, gas money to get there and get home. I knew that. I was taught that. And so when powwow was over, I was putting my things away. And this guy come up and he said, Earl, he said, did you get any gas money to get home? I looked at him, I said, the committee's gone. They're gone. I said, no, I haven't gotten anything. He said, this other guy pulled up. He said, did anybody get any gas money, drum money? I said, look, I said, they're all gone. There isn't any. So how am I going to get home, But I didn't say nothing. I said, well, I says, got to be prepared,
Yeah. Enough to get there, enough to get home.
Yeah. Everything else is just kindness, people
Yeah.
helping each other out. And I seen that too when I was a young child. young guy. They never made no big announcements about all that stuff. You know, they
Yeah.
would say, we have some visitors here. And this particular family would like to help them with, you know, get home gas money. He said, so you po, you know, so they come up and they meet behind the crow's nest and shake hands, thank each other. And that was the gesture of appreciation. You know, now they tell a story about the whole situation. So anyway, so having that, how would you say, observation that I've made over, and maybe it's because I'm getting old. I'm 73 years old right now. But those are the things that I observe. And what makes it, how would you say it, controversial is the fact is that why isn't anybody saying anything about it? You know, why isn't anybody discussing these things?
Yeah.
No one's taught them. We know we can encourage people, hang in there, do it the best that you can, but remember there was once protocol and etiquette involved in all of this,
Mhm.
you know? I even know the history when the Ochaka was opened up for women dancers. I
Yeah.
was told those things too, yeah. And it all came about. Because Ohomene, they used to dance, or they had their own dances.
Yeah.
But, you know, she asked to dance because she lost her sons in the war. And so the committee allowed her to come in. And from there, now we have that protocol and etiquette, but it was all subject to change. It's all
Yeah.
subject to change. But at least we should know how it all began and how it all started and what's the purpose and intent of it.
Yeah.
It's supposed to bring all these people together to the same heartbeat of all tribes in a peaceful way, you know. So we gather, enjoy each other and all that stuff. But let's not forget that there's very important to teach our kids that there's a protocol and etiquette to all that.
Mhm.
Don't throw your stuff over the drum. Don't spill no pop on your drum. You know, a lot of that stuff is, when I was drum keeper, I said, everything goes to the left all the way around.
Mhm.
I said, don't ever throw nothing over the top of this drum. You know, and it's happened to us. Some guy come in there, wanted to borrow a lighter, that guy threw it across the drum. So I said, hey, do you what you just did? You violated the protocol of this drum. You know? I said, we don't do that. So please don't do that again on any drum. So that's education.
Oh,
That's
that's true.
setting an example. Yeah. That must taste pretty good, huh?
Oh,
Pizza.
it's really good. I was hungry. Good pizza. You know, remember, brother man, when Lala Joe, when he used to dance, he used to carry a 6-shooter, but people didn't
Yeah.
understand. He was following treaty because he was a medicine man. He could pack that iron, eh? And they didn't know that. See, that was in the treaty. And Lala Joe used to be I'd watch him and here he is packing a 6-shooter on his side.
Yeah.
But somewhere in the treaty, it said that he had the right to do that. In North Dakota or South Dakota, he could do that. And he used to pack a little 6-shooter on his side. You ever see him carrying that?
Yeah, I saw him like doing it, yeah.
And when he's
turned-
dancing, yeah.
He turned all his regalia was given to a younger man in Lego.
Mm,
Yeah, his whole regalia was given to another guy.
yeah. Oh, Lala Joe.
I traveled with him. Yeah, I traveled with him quite a bit when I lived down in McLaughlin.
Yeah.
We used to visit a lot. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All the time.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was a lot easier to learn than him trying to change it, explain things, translate it from Lakota to English.
Yeah.
So I mean, I enjoyed that, you know.
Heck yeah.
That's why so often for me, if there's a way in which for me to go to like Sioux Valley, I like going up and
Mhm.
listen to them talk.
Yeah.
Or anywhere the language is spoken. But see, there's a change there too. We should be utilizing our language more than we do at celebrations, more than hookah, you know,
Yeah.
or oha,
Yeah.
you know. So Chris and I, when he announced Lord Rule, we used to do that. We take turns. So if I had grand entry at the beginning, I would say things in Lakota, and then he would say it in English.
Yeah.
Wea, Sipsilawachipi Tuma Upalo, he said,
Oh,
so he would translate it. And then when the other categories come in like that, then we'd reverse that at the next session. And people just accepted it. That's the way, so people could hear the language and then him translating, there's equivalency there,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you don't hear that no more. It's all English. I don't know who else does it, but everything I see on YouTube or whatever, it's all English now. Some guys are comical though. They try speaking, and that's good. They're trying,
Yeah.
But that's way up in Canada. I don't
Yeah.
know if they're Dakota, but they're saying things in our language, and not quite pronounced correctly, but at least they're trying, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I do when I announce. I always try to make sure that I use the language lots, but I use a lot of English, but as much as I know, I try to share that so they understand. And a lot of people, they say, well, we really like to hear that. I said, oh, okay. Well, yeah. Because they like, even though they're Cree or Ojibwe, they said they like to hear the language, just because it's being spoken. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I'll keep doing it then.
Good try. Yeah, and Weston does that too. He's pretty good at interjecting. That is, how can I forget? Dearly.
Oh, Jerry,
Dearly.
Yeah,
he does that too. That's pretty good.
He speaks a lot of
One time,
and he explains it, yeah.
Yeah, when they came down to Bullet Power, they called it the Tom and Jerry show. Tom Iron and Jerry Dearly.
Tom Iron and Jerry.
So anyway, they MC it here. Tom was telling me, he said, he didn't know that his wife was a little short woman and Caucasian persuasion, And Tom was talking to him. Did you ever notice, he said, all our men are marrying white women, little short women. He said, they come to the power, brand new shirt and pants and buckles and boots. Just all brand new.
Yeah.
He said, I often wonder, why they're marrying white women. Jerry said, he said, don't say that. He said, I'm married to one.
Married to one. Yeah.
So, that humor we have, what good is life without a few jokes,
Yeah.
It's cute. People are going to choose whoever they want to choose. That's life. And we can't discriminate against that.
No.
That's one of the
Because we're
things
inclusive.
that we're taught.
Yeah,
We can't do that.
Yeah.
We can't be ethnocentric. I'm part French myself, Oui, monsieur. My mother-in-law noticed it right away. First thing she said to me, she looked at me, she said, you're part French, are you? I said, looked at her, said, oui, monsieur. I said, but she knew it, right? Just looking at me.
Yeah.
I was surprised, So being elderly and all that stuff, I just responded that way. I said, oui, monsieur. That's pretty cute.
Yeah.
But I started speaking Dakota more when I was in Fort Totten with my father-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Then I was in contact with people that spoke D on Standing Rock. One guy down here, you couldn't hardly understand him because he talked too fast. Tokidarawo. Huh? Tokidarawo. Come on, Georgia. What do you say? Slow down, man. He said,
Yeah.
Toki da da ho. He said, oh, Toki ala. Toki alala. Yeah. So we have a lot of people that speak that fast speed.
Yeah.
They just say,
Oh.
talking slower now. Let us know what you're saying. So it's just a matter of knowing how to accept and utilize courtesy, because we have a lot of things and words that I don't use or know how to use anymore because I don't speak it as much as I should, kind of limited to my vocabulary when it comes to Lakota terms. So every once in a while words will pop up I haven't heard for a long time because I heard them when I was young,
Mhm.
you know? So having that upbringing, it's ingrained, it's in there. And I know sure a lot of my people my age, they understand Iwogalaka, or
Mhm.
I know they do, but Hokipchab, you know, Wishteche, they said
They're
they're
scared to
afraid
say
to
it,
come
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to use it because the things that they've heard, you know, and then taking that route and saying, oh, yeah, that's too difficult, I can't do that, you know. But yet we have all these people coming from foreign countries speaking better Lakota than a lot of us.
Mhm.
Having big powwows over there and talking Lakota at the powwows. Oh, yeah. There's another change that went on, you know. All right. But anyway, those things I thought about, and I thought I'd kind of put it out there and see how responsive people get about not knowing those things or aware of those things. But it's a way of keeping a perspective on changes that's happened to our people.
Yeah.
And it's come in many ways, you know, even down to the way we cook our food, coming down to that. Everybody thinks fry bread is our traditional food. It's a German food, you know. Star quilts, those came from Germans, you know. You know, so we have to remember that kind of stuff, but we adapted and we've done good things with it. I was very impressed one time when I went to that basketball tournament south of Brockton. They go down to that tournament down there. I think it's district or regional. Glendive, no, Culbertson. You go down that way.
Yeah.
It's a town that they have a tournament down there. And here they had this moment when they came out and all these ball players that played for Brockton, they had these star quilts and they gave them to individuals that treated them with kindness. You know, when they,
Yeah.
you know, when they went to the stores or something like that, they felt, you know, that they had I would just say a kindness about them. So they wanted to thank them for that.
Yeah.
So they gave them to these, you know, store owners, teachers, police officers. They gave them star quilts.
Yeah.
That really impressed me. You know, somebody had thought of that and said, hey, you know, we're human beings too, you know.
Yeah.
I thought about that and I said, wow. And then I went to Oswego. And I can't remember what it was for, but we went there for some reason anyway. They honored an elderly at halftime, and they did it every home game.
Mhm.
So what the culture class would do is they'd make a staff or a cane for them, you know? And so they got to go to the game free. They gave them a blanket or some, you know, some means of appreciation. And they gave them a diamondback canes that they made in school
Yeah.
to show the appreciation for the elderly.
Yeah.
That was impressive too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we don't do those kinds of things around here. I mean, that's the only place I've ever seen that done that way.
Yeah.
So we have forgotten little gestures like that, you know. So I, for myself, I said I try to do those things, but that can get out of hand too. And my daughter, she said, "Dad, can I have the next satin quilt you get?" And I said, okay, I'm gonna get in line. Do all that. See, don't do that. But we're generous. Like you guys generous.
Mhm.
What you expect you're giving to me. I enjoy these podcasts, but God, Bimini, technology is just fucks me off every time I try to do something in a hurry. I was trying to hook this thing up so I could put that on there with the songs, you know,
Yeah.
show you the picture of it like that, you know, and then still see you on the screen and still be able to audio. You can still hear me talk about the song while you're looking at the words,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. So they bought brand new ones. I took off this Wamanu. I stole that 5-finger discount. 2 looks and a grab. You know, 'cause I thought
Jesus
it would
Christ.
work for me.
Don't be
Yeah.
telling on yourself now. They'll be throwing you in jail.
Yeah, it's obsolete, you know. It's gone. Been there, done that. First thing used to happen when they got to throw us, picked us up to throw us in the bullpen, we used to say, "Who's doing the cooking?"
Who's making the
Did
coffee?
they say the certain person's names? Oh, we're right on, man.
Yeah.
Fried potatoes and powdered eggs and eggs and biscuits and gravy. She used to really cook good. If it
No-
was
no
anyone
more-
but how we say how.
No more bullpens though. You know, everybody used to be in that same cell. Hey, just they don't got those no
It's
more.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
What's happened here is that, you know, I went to pick up my relative at for driving without a driver's license. They go to court at a certain time. So I thought maybe he'd come out by himself. Shit, we got about 18 guys came out with him. No driver's license. They all went to court. So we have issues like that because of this. No room for nothing.
Yeah.
How about this guy who was never drank in his life, you know? And his buddies talked him into going out with them.
Yeah.
And they got him started. After he passed out, got picked up, and there one of them stole a calf. That's a federal charge, you know.
Yeah.
So they all there in jail. They said, whatever you do, don't get that judge angry. He says, you know, just agree with everything. It'll go easy.
Yeah.
God and his judge, and you know, how do you plead? He said, he looked at those guys, guilty. I tried. Sentence you to 5 years in the state penitentiary. Look at those guys. Ooh.
Holy great.
He listened to his buddies and cost him years in the penitentiary. Ooh. See, that humor is small, but we understand it's funny.
Yeah. Just because he was hungry, he wanted some taniga.
Yeah, well, there was a lot of that stuff going on. Guys take those calves and go sell them, you know.
Yeah. Like, those guys killed that
We've
cow.
had-
And they said, those guys killed that cow. The sheriff went up to investigate. He said, "Oh, this is an Indian guy did this. How do you know? Just one hind quarter and the taniga is gone." You know the Indian guy there. Boy.
Yeah, guilty right there. You know who it was? Just like that old guy sitting in a cafe to listen to eavesdropping on his what? Shit, you guys really talking about Indians? Everywhere you go, Walmart, there's Indians on there. I see you go to ball games, there's Indians down there. I see you go to downtown, they're walking on Indians everywhere. He said, can't go no place without seeing the Indians somewhere. Finally, that old guy got upset. He said, I know where you guys can go where there's no Indians. They all looked at him and he said, where? He said, you guys all go to hell. There ain't no Indians down there.
Oh.
Yeah. Like my dad used to say. I said, what happens to us, Dad, when we die? He said, you don't worry about that. He said, you're going to the happy hunting grounds. I looked at him, I said, is that heaven? Yeah, I should just call it heaven. He said, but the reason is, he said, we spend our life in hell here. He said, we spend our hell on earth, he said.
Yeah.
So that always
So
struck
we're for
me, you
sure
know.
going to heaven. Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely going to those happy hunting grounds, you know.
Machpeh Aktayuha.
There's nothing more surprising when your wife asks you, where do you want to be buried? I say, well, yeah, man,
Oh.
I'm only 36 years old. What the hell are you asking me that for? I gotta
What you
know,
gonna do,
she
kill
said.
me? Did you get me life
I'd put you on
insurance or what?
daisies right away. Huh?
Yeah.
I said, what kind of question is that? I said, well, yeah, I still got a long way to go.
Especially from
Oh,
your
shit.
wife. How's
Yeah.
Peggy doing,
Well,
by the
you
way?
know, dementia's coming in on me, so
Oh,
I know what
Christ.
that's like and how embarrassing that can be too.
Yeah.
not in a big hurry or something. I called her by the wrong name. Shicha, man, Shicha. What did you say? I said, what did I say? You called her by a wrong name, man. I'm sorry,
used to
I didn't mean to do that. Dementia. I blamed it
I
on
used to-
dementia.
Yeah, I used to call all my women baby.
Yeah,
That one smartened up and said, Tommy, I know why you call us all baby. Why is that? You don't know our names. That's true. I said.
Not like that woman put you on your spot. Remember? You asked her what her name was. She said Ophelia.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Ophelia.
Ophelia what? She said Ophelia all night long.
All night long. You kind of embarrassed me that time.
First time I seen it.
Oh,
Hey, just shut him up, man. That's good. I said, give us a break, man. Oh shit, we're on the air. I forgot about. Yeah. How much time we got left?
Start really talking.
I got 5:02. Getting
Yeah,
carried
okay,
away here,
okay.
boys.
Editing.
Editing time. Gotta edit.
Yeah, we'll edit
Anyway,
that
so
part out.
Eliza, I'm coming up there for Curly's memorial. Is there some way we can get together and initiate that drum with some songs?
Yeah, heck yeah, anytime. Just we'll visit with Tommy and
May
we'll work
21st,
around
he's
your
coming up.
schedule.
No, May 21st,
Yeah.
he's coming up.
First.
That's
Yeah,
same time as college graduation, huh?
The 20th is graduation that Saturday or Friday, so the Saturday that'll be the 21st, I think. But yeah, I'll be around. I think actually Tommy is up in
All right.
Manitoba or someplace, but I'll
Winnipeg,
definitely
yeah.
be around.
You're going up there. Gonna miss
Tommy
out,
will be
man.
up there. So yeah, we can we'll connect about that. Yeah,
All right.
definitely. I'll look forward to that. So
All
it
right,
looks like
Jay,
we're
we
on
made it.
overtime. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're on
we made
overtime
it.
now. So
Okay, why not?
All
better
right.
downtime.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Happy
Good shot, Kat.
Uitka Day. Not Itka,
yeah.
but Uitka.
Just one quick announcement for those that are listening. We do have our that Indigiverse is right around the corner. You have until they extended the registration to submit until the 17th. And then on the 23rd, the 22nd, 23rd, they're having a viewing. You can go to that website, indigiverse.org, I believe, and you can check it out in the Indigiverse virtual format. You can look at all the student submissions. But there is another announcement within that category. It's called Poetry Slam. We had a few students back in the day at AHEC group Poetry Slam. And so if they want to do talk about poetry, if they just want to freestyle it, I've seen a lot of our students do really well and place in that. So I want to encourage our students, if you're listening, you want to check that out. The Poetry Slam, check that out. But other than that, that's all we got. So I thank both of you gentlemen for joining us today. And Johan Dukash. See you guys later.
All right, leaving webinar.